serious here too. What's that? A town is Irene recipe. Like a child. Oh, sounds good, brother. Sounds good. That's pretty sure. It's a label.
Hello and welcome to the Underground Cave. My name is Geltip, and this is Mini Painting with Geltip. This isn't a tutorial stream. Well, it kind of is. Today's Thursday. It's just me trying to paint through my pile of shame and having you watch and either hobby in the background or painting along. However, if you do happen to learn anything today or get inspired to paint a miniature, well, then I've done my job. That's awesome. So today is Thursday night. We are doing our second segment of the Dark Elf Priestess from Reaper, number 44071, if you have the Bones Black. And then somewhere on the Discord, I have the metal version, which is a different number. I think it starts with a 7. So you can check the Discord under Thursday Night Paint Alongs if you join the Discord and find out which miniature we're painting this month and grab it along. I have been downloading the paint-alongs. I'll try to get those up on a YouTube channel when I can. So if you ever want to paint along and you miss some of the streams, you can find those on my YouTube when I post it. So with all that said, let's get into painting, shall we? So go grab your favorite beverage, sit back and relax, or grab your palette and your Dark Elf Priestess, and let's just paint. And lost my mouse. There we go. Okay. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I want to do one thing that I don't norm that I was having a debate with myself, and I said, you know what? Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll just do some more shout outs or some more uh sponsorships during these paint alongs as well. Uh, I could sponsor Reaper because they're the ones that they're the brand of the miniature that I'm painting. But instead, I want to give a couple local artists a quick shout out. And one of the artists is Snowfoot Dice. They create a bunch of different customizable dice that you can buy, plus other things as well. But I think they're mainly just dice, and so you can go to Snowfoot Dice, and you can find them at snowfootdice.com. They're on Etsy, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, so you can go find those anywhere over there. And if you want to email them for any reason, snowfootdice at gmail.com. I believe Snowfoot Dice was at TotalCon, and I ended up getting one of these. Look at that. This might be a point reward soon. It might be hydrate from the barrel mug or hydrate from my goblet, which I have some over there. So look for those coming soon. I never had a hydrate. I never wanted to take a drink while I was painting, but maybe we'll do that. So that's Snowfoot Dice. That's the first one. Now, when you do buy dice from them, remember to tell them Gel Tip sent you. It's always fun to see if they'll see who and come and find me to thank me, but it's okay. Sorry about that. But Snowfoot Dice. Now, if you do happen to buy some dice, you need something to roll them in. Games by B is the next one. Makes custom dice trays. Sews them together. Plus, there's custom dice bags that these folks make. So, give Games by B a look at. If again, these are all local artists that I'm kind of shouting out. They were at TotalCon a couple weeks ago. But GamesByB.com is on the World Wide Web. You can find them on Twitter at GamesByB, and you can also email them at GamesByB at gmail.com. They make handmade and custom accessories for the tabletop role playing games, such as dice bags, deck bags, rolling trays, patches, and more. So go give them a look and see if you can buy it. Same deal. Go tell them Gel Tip sent you. I should really probably find these people and give them my name so that they know that I'm sponsoring them. But Snowfoot Dice and Games by B, those are your two sponsors for today that I'll give to you for your tabletop gaming dice qualities. I don't know if it's strictly just role playing dice that they do or if they'll do customizable dice for all games, but you can find out. And you can also email them. Each one has a Gmail account, Games by B, and Snowfoot Dice. Give them a look at, see if you like what you see. Um, and if you want to order something, again, just where you have that message to say thank you, just say Gel Tip sent me. All right, here's where we started off last week. This is where we got her to a state. We were kind of blending in some of those purples. We got a nice little purple sheen going on for the back cape. And then this is a purplish gray gown that we're going to kind of keep bringing up to the white side of stuff, but it's going to have like a purple feel to it. So we'll work more on the gown. As you can see, it's just kind of subtle highlights going in to the recesses, and we may have started out a little too dark last time and kind of got into a more subtle transition, but we want to do more highlights. So I didn't want to keep it really dark in there. So I kind of went in and just kind of softened up some of the stuff. I didn't really get rid of the darkness that we were doing. I just was softening it up. So, and then we also did the skull here. So we were working on the skull. There we go. And then she has a couple skulls. Did I see another skull on here? Maybe I didn't. But yeah, so that's where we are with her. We're going to keep on painting her. Hopefully you're painting along. You should probably need to know the palette that we were using. So for those of you that were with us last week, I'll go over the palette once more very quickly. You can always join the Discord to get the palette that we had. We're using a nice dark, warm, leathery brown, which is XV88 from Citadel. Can't go wrong with that color. We're also using as our dark purple this Nagarth Night. As our black, I decided that we're going to just stay with the Nightshade purple. But any black will do. This is black, but it's on the purple side. You can't really tell it's purple, but when you start thinning it out and start adding white to it, you'll get that purple color. To get the purple gray, we're using some Slanesh gray. That's got a purple tint to it. There's a theme going on here, so that's what we want to look at. We were, let's see. I don't know. Did I say we're using Imperial Purple? I don't think so. I know we were using Clear Purple as our transparent purple. We were going with some Dark Elf skin, Dark Elf highlight. Those are just for the skin tones. We were going with the Molten Metals Graphite. I think I said steel, but I think it was graphite that I was thinking about. Runefang steel is just as good. And then Pro Acryl silver. This is a light silver, so silver. Oh my God, Citadel Stormhost silver is one of them. We're also using some ivory, Monument Hobbies ivory, which I have no idea what happened to that. We were using that on Tuesday, so I'm not exactly sure what I did with the ivory from Monument Hobbies, but you'll see that in the paint. And then also, oh, here it is. I got it. All right, must put stuff away. Here's ivory from Monument Hobbies, and as my white, we're using Bolt Titanium White. So there we go. I might add in, let's see, so we want to make sure I got 10 colors here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, we got our 10 colors, so that means you guys are out. For the sake of ease, I know you're painting along with me, if that's, but I think what I'm going to do is take some of that clear purple and silver, and they already mixed it for me with this Drow silver, so I might use the Drow silver on some of her armor. Just do a nice quick mix up. There we go. All right. And then we are good to go with the Dark Reaper or the Reaper Dark Elf Priestess. Now, um, right now she's looking a little kind of black and whitish or black and purplish. She'll get some color. I wanted to do that skull just so that she had some color to her. I think I want to kind of focus on the face today and maybe some of the armor. Um, and I'm really thinking that I want to give her a little bit of color in the front, not completely silver. So I want to do some purple in the front on the chest plate and the front plate here, and then go into some silver in the background. So that's my goal for that. And it looks like, yeah. And then we're gonna start highlighting some more of the cloak and see where we can go. And I also probably want to hit the face. So let me get my eyes on really quick here. Hopefully everybody's enjoying their Thursday. And I'm going to get some color on the wet palette. So you know what? We're going to start off. This was the color that we chose to use. So we're using the Nightshade Purple, which is the black, the Slanesh Gray, and then we're adding white to that Slanesh Gray. So if you remember from last week, we started mixing colors. So let me get some colors on the palette, and then we can start working more of our, I'm gonna put this like this here. Oh, you know what we need? We need music. Why not have some music? So, I think I already know what music I want. So let's come up here. Do some nice calming cinematics. So let's bring this down a little bit so that you're not blowing out by the ears. Maybe just a little bit more. I don't know how loud this is going to be. Let's try it. There we go. All right. Well, hopefully that's not too loud. I'm gonna get out my little mixing brush so that I don't use up a good brush to mix with. Take some of my black. Take a little bit of my Slanesh Gray. I'll put that up here. Putting about 5 dabs in here. Okay. And we're going to get some white. Shake up my white. And I'll put the white way up here. Get it out of the way. There we go. Some nice white right there. Excellent. Alright. Let me get some of these colors out of the way. We don't need them just yet. Alright. So, first things first. I have to grab my little paintbrush. Give me a second. Okay. I need like a little shelf here so that I don't keep dropping things on the... Alright. I have to figure out why. Looks like I'm gonna have to clean that brush. Alright. First things first, we want to use... We're gonna go to our Reaper 1 because I want a point, but I also want a belly. So make sure I can get my point back. Alright, so now I want to... I think we left off with, we did 2 shots of the Slanesh Gray, and we did 2 shots of the white. Alright, so that should be 2 shots, and then we're gonna take some water, mix it all in. Okay. Grab a paper towel. Make sure we get our point back. That might be too much paint on that brush. Let's try this again. I want to be able to see the belly of the brush. So I'm going to load it up. Gonna load up the tip. See how I got the tip loaded up? Touch the paper towel. And now, I don't know how bright this is because it's been a week. So I'm gonna always start at the bottom where the flattest part is and see how it goes. Alright, so as you can see, that's a little too bright. So I'll go into my Slanesh Gray and bring it down a little bit. You don't want a lot of brightness yet. I think it might be a little too thick. But that's alright if it, because where we messed up is going to be bright anyway. So let's see if this will work. There we go. So this is a little softer. It's a little thinner. And you just kind of wing it out here. And you want to apply it to the very edges and then pull it down. So you kind of want to just get this nice shading going on. So I'm just using the tip of the brush. It's very moist. You start at the bottom where all that highlight's going to be, and then you can work your way up. Just kind of making this natural transition. It's going to look very bright going on first, but as it dries, and don't worry about the base. The base will get done. There's another little spot I want to get right here. It looks like that's another hard edge fold. So I'm just going to get it there. So you're kind of making some textures here. just want to keep looking at it and see where I can get some highlights. Right here. I feel like it's just not fat enough. Okay. Smooth it down a little bit. And it'll get brighter as we go. And one thing you can do is if you add a little bit of water, you can use that same color and you can thin it down like over here. So you get a nice little transition. Now this is just one way of blending in some colors. There's other ways we can blend in. Making sure that, because once I start going, I start talking and then I totally forget I'm streaming. So let's see. Let's get this here. See what happens when you don't start at the bottom? Like I started up here and now I have to try to make it work. And the problem when you do that is that you might get too much of a highlight in there. Each time that I stick my brush in the thing, I'm hitting a paper towel here. Just to kind of control how much paint goes on there. I want the point. As you turn the miniature, you can definitely get to see where highlights are necessary. So you can start to see, and as I keep going, I'm gonna start down here, and I'm not gonna go all the way up. I'm just trying to go all the way up to get a nice bright fold there. Now, the more water that you have, the more liquidy this is, the better your blends will be. So what I'll do is I'll just hit here on the edge and then wave it down into here. Get it off of that cape. You don't want it on that cape. But I do want it sort of on the shoulders here. So I'm just going to kind of do where I can actually see where the edge is. Something like that. Alright. Now we can add a little bit more white in. So again, you're not going to add a lot of white. This is a very powerful color. That that might be too much white that I'm adding in, but we're going to try it. And we need water to mix it up. Grab the paper towel. And let's try this again. Now this time it's a lighter color. Should be a little more liquidy. If it's not, then you want some liquid on there. You don't want too much liquid or water. You want just pigment. And we're going to start here where we always start and work our way up. But this time you may want to stop halfway. Start here on the flat edge, work your way up. And as you're looking at it, you just figure out where you want it to highlight. So maybe I'm done down here. Maybe I don't want that there. And so to create the 3D, we do the top up here, do the top right here. So I hit there, but that doesn't matter. We haven't even painted that yet. Maybe I paint right here, so I'll just kind of like carefully stick my brush in there. And maybe I just do inside here a little bit. And so that lightness followed by all that darkness, so now you're getting these levels of shades in there, to the dark to the light. Maybe I can hit this right up here, not all the way, just kind of right there to signify another fold. Maybe back here. So you're just trying to create these shades of colors from bright to medium to dark. And eventually you want it to look white, but you don't want it pure white. So again, I'll take this same color here that I have, add just a little bit of white to make it even brighter. Some nice, so again, we took some of this, put it in here, took just a smidge of white to lighten it up. It should look lighter than what you were starting with. Now that it's nice and wet, you start down where we were, and again you can just kind of just do the bottom. That gets a lighter color there. Now if the bottom just doesn't look right to you, you can very controlled do a nice line up here. I wouldn't go any more than a line. Over here, I'm just dotting now. Just dotting where the high spots are, creating a little bit of that texture, but just want this nice and I'm going to eventually go to a smaller brush. Use this one. So I'm going to use this like it looks like a liner. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this white and I'm really going to push the white narrative now. Not completely. Not completely. I don't want to do it completely. But here's where I want. I'm using the lining brush because I really just want these lines here. And again, because it's fabric, it doesn't have to go completely in a straight line, but you want to have somewhat of a straight line. And then again, if it's too much, we can always come back out a little bit. With our darker color. And just kind of fix up some of that area here. One sec. So now I'm just adding back in that shadow, that Slanesh gray, just to get me my shadows back in here. And then I think, if I'm not mistaken, we use a little bit of this Nightshade purple in there. All right. That's the thing with blending. It's a constant back and forth just to get that look that you're looking for. So let's get some of this back. There's a nice line. There's a traditional line right here that I can get at. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm just trying to get like the really edge of the fold here. I'm not really trying to go too much away from, like there's this edge that I can see. And that's where I'm trying to get with this extreme highlight, just on that edge. we'll do the same thing up on top. These are just going to kind of be little dots, but like right here on the top of her shoulder, I might just give it a little dot. I know it's looking like I'm drawing a line, but so like this will cover some of this down here. So since I've already highlighted there, I don't need to because of that armor, but I'm just kind of giving a little bit of dot here and there into certain areas. And I'll do the same thing right here. Like here, I'll just kind of do right about here so that you get to see the edge. So when you turn it this way, you get to see some of that edge. Maybe there's a little line here. And so as you're turning it, it's just nice, kind of blended in. Notice I haven't gone back to the highlight color. I'm just using the same highlight color and just hitting spots that I want more brighter than others. I don't need to always get more paint on there. And then for my extreme highlight, we will take some of this white again and really kind of bring this out. Make sure you water it because we don't want it to be an edge highlight. We want it to be a soft highlight. And all I'm going to do is the bottom of her. I'm not really going to go any farther than just the bottom of these folds. And maybe spot up on top any concentrated fabric. Again, it will always look brighter when you put it on because it's wet. And then as it dries, it'll darken down. So what I'm going to do is do a little bit of glazing. And I'm going to take this edge, and I'm just going to kind of, where these folds are, really make them bright. Right where it curves. I don't want to go all the way down, but right here where everything is just curving and bunched together. That's kind of where I want these highlights. Right here. Right up here. That's where things are bunched up. And again, at the top of her shoulder right here, you can see that part of it. There's just a little dot right there. There's a little dot right here. And a dot right here. Just going to go ahead and start smoothing out some of these little lines here. Oh, right here is a nice, this is a nice one right here. Take this, get this little dot right here inside. don't have to go any farther than that. Alright. And again, we can keep going on and on, but we're going to let that dry and see how that works for us. We do see a little problem here. So I'm just going to take this. That needs to be bunched up there. And what I could do is I can actually take some of this and I can make it as many, if I can just go around doing this all over the place, and I can make things a little bit lighter if I need to, make things a little more of a transition if I need to. If it looks too stark or it looks too cartoony, we can grab it and make it a little bit more pleasing. There we go. We're going to keep it there for now. I think we want to get some other colors in here. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually get some silver and purple into her armor. That's my goal right now. So if you're with me, I'll show you how to do that. This is the drow silver I was talking about. It's a metallic silver, or it's a colored metallic. It's a purple metallic. If I want that metallic color, I can take my bright silver okay. So we have our metallic silver. Oops. I don't want to touch the mini with that. And we're going to take our clear purple. We have a clear purple. Okay. And so, let's see, how do I want to do this? Well, let's take our mixing brush. I'm going to take 2 shots of the silver. Okay, there it is. So now I'm going to count how many purples I need to put in the silver. So here's 1 shot of purple. Looks a little light. There's 2 shots of purple. Looks like that could be where it is. Let's try 1 more shot. So I think it's 3 shots of the clear purple to 2 shots of silver. And just to see how that looks, let's take this silver here, this drow silver, and I'm just going to put it over here. So that's pretty close. So take 2 of your silvers, 3 of your clear purples or transparent purples, and you can get the same colored silver. And you can do that with any of the clear paints. I love the clear paints for that reason. You can make these colored silvers. Now I use the bright silver to get the color in there. The darker silver you can still use it with, but your colored silver might be a little too dulled down by the dark. So I'm going to go through it. I'm just going to do the dark silver first. And I'm going to use the approach of painting the silver in. I'm using the wrong brush for that, by the way. I want to use the number 1. I have a small area here. I want a big belly to this. So I'm going to start with my dark silver. Thin it down just a little bit. And I'm going to go through and I'm just going to paint. I'm going to actually paint the bottom half of this armor right here. staying away from the sides because I kind of want that black separating line, and see if I can get some silver on the sides, but not a lot. So there we go. There's, whoops, I was probably off camera when I did that. I apologize. So we're doing that, and then the other one I'm going to do is this up here, this shoulder piece. And I'm just going to do all of it. I'm not going to dry brush it. I'm not going to overbrush it. We're going all in on this. Staying away from the hair as much as possible. Because if you get silver in your hair, it's like gum, it's hard to get out. If you're a speed painter, or you're really fast at doing your strokes, probably want to slow it down when you get around the hair, especially with a metallic color like this. And you just got done doing a whole bunch of work right here on the dress. Whoops. So you're probably not going to want to hit that dress with this either. Now one trick you can do is you can leave a little black area next to the hair. You don't, but you want to make sure you get most of the armor piece here. So we're going to do that. We got silver here. We don't have any silver on this side. So I think what we're going to probably do, we're going to give her a little silver nub right here, and then we might give this a silver crown. I'm not sure. We're going to wait on that for a second and see where everything else lies. So, but there is, I don't think that's hair. I think that is a metal shoulder thing. So let's do that. That might just be a clasp for the cape or the cloak. So again, take your time here. Trying not to get any in the hair or on the cloak or on the dress. Now, some of us like to do all of our base colors first and then do our cleanup and then go ahead and start washing and highlighting. It's totally a fine idea. But sometimes you get to see a little bit more of the vision if you can do pieces at a time. Obviously, I would have, if I was doing this, if I was doing the armor first, I would totally dry brush or overbrush and then start working in the dress around it. So that's one way that you can speed paint, is knowing where to go and what to do first and second. Okay, so we have some purple armor here and we have some silver around. I think what I want to do is give her some, I'm going to make these silver blades or silver armor. So I think I'm just going to go all out and do these all silver. I can add some decorative stuff later down the line if I wanted to. So I think my metal's a little too thick, so we'll just add a little bit of water, not too much. Yeah, see how that goes on nice and smoother if you don't try to use the thick paint. Okay. Now I know most people are saying, well, what could you do, black armor? Definitely could do black armor. I could have totally made her in black armor, but I chose silver to give it some depth and color. I definitely could have went black, but the reason I didn't is more or less because I wanted her skin tone to be the darkest part of her. So if I can get things to be a little bit brighter around her, it turns the skin tone that much darker. So I know it's taken me a while to do. I'm just trying not to hit the dress. So it's taken me a little bit longer. But maybe you want me to slow it down just a little bit? I don't know. Maybe you're already done with her. Okay. So there she's got the silver pauldron, and we'll make sure that that's a little bit more detailed. Right now it's just a flat color, and I'm doing the thin coats of the metallic here. So it looks like we have some right here. And it looks like she's got a little bit of her arm showing, so we might have to paint some of that arm with the drow skin tones. And I know I'm not talking right now. We're at a really crucial area. There's a dress involved, there's a hair and a skull. So we want to make sure that we keep those looking as awesome as when we did them. All right. There we go. There is her armor, the silver part of it. Now I'm going to go ahead and use this drow silver. You can actually use the silver we made. Either one's going to work. And look at how nice a colored metallic is. You can see it. Probably can't see it yet. Let's try to get it up here. So by adding a little bit of the clear paint to a silver, you can start creating some pretty good colored armor effects, or colored armor in general. Now there's a little skull right here, so I'll try to stay away from that as much as possible. And again, I could figure out where the highlight is coming from and actually paint this non-metallic metal, or I could paint this using true metallics, using this colored metallic. I could use, I guess Turbo Dork has a purple that you could use. And if I wanted to, if I was so inclined, I could actually make this back here a purple metallic. I think we were going to try to do a gemstone there, and we still can. I just want to see how the purple metallic looks back here. Alright, see how that looks. So this bottom here isn't reading too much purple, so I'll give it another shot here. Alright. What do you think of that? Well, that doesn't look too bad. I mean, we're going to highlight it and stuff, but gets a little bit of color in there. We have some dark silver down here and all along here. I take some of this dark silver again and just kind of finish off the job here that I didn't finish off. Alright. Looks good. I like it. All right. Losing some tape here. Give me 1 sec. There we go. Alright, for this next piece that we're going to do, we're going to work on some of the face. We wanted to get some color in her a little bit. So now the back of her kind of matches the front, right? There's purple here, there's purple back here. This has a nice little flow dress going to it, and it's really gonna sell the darkness up here. You know what else is gonna sell the darkness up here? When we start doing this shade of white on her hair. And I'll start showing you how to do it. But when you're doing hair, hair's a halo, so remember that. And then right here, these highlights here. So see this darkness? See this darkness right in here? That's what you have to worry about. That's what's going to read the hair. So that'll be like a gray, and you'll get your whites in here. So we need that halo effect, so we want to make sure that we want it to read gray. And that's where when I said, you remember that blue-gray we were talking about? We could do everything purple here. But if you do this in a blue, if you just start with a blue-gray, or that nightmare black, which is a dark blue, and you start highlighting this up to white, it makes it look a lot different than this dress. This dress it's not white, but you don't want to do the same thing for the hair, or else it just looks a mess and the dress isn't going to stand out. So what we're going to do is I will use a little bit of a blue color in here, or I may just go straight up gray. We'll see. But what I want to do is get some of this face in here. So now, here's the thing with dark elves. I want it to be a dark skin, but if I do it too purple, purple acts as a warm color. So you kind of want to stay more on the neutral side of things when you're highlighting. But we don't want it to be totally like black, or else you're not going to see a lot of the colors. So we do want to highlight, but we want our highlights to be a little more controlled. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of that elf flesh that we took, or dark elf skin, which is this color here. This has a little purple tint to it. But I'm going to add in some of that nice shade purple. Alrighty. Give me 1 sec. I just got to poke a hole in that. Alright. Wipe that off so that doesn't get on anything. Stick that back in the case, or else I will poke myself and we'll have red all over. Now I could have done a blue. I could have done a blue for the skin tone as well, but I figured Reaper makes a dark elf skin. Let's see what their dark elf skin does. Alright. Nice shade purple. Take a nice one shot of that. I'm going to take 3 shades of this. 1, 2, 3. It's a little bit darker than the other one, but it's not going to be as dark, so we should be able to see some of this. So I'm just going to go around and just paint some of the face. Paint some of this down here on her neck. So there's going to be spots here where we're not going to paint it. We want to leave it as dark as possible. Remember, we need 3 shades on a 3-dimensional figure. You need the highlight, the color you want to portray, and its shade. And the thinner this paint is, the more detail you're going to see. Now I have to figure out where the hand is over here. So it looks like there's some fingers right here. And the palm right here. And a finger is there. Finger is here. Looks like there might be a finger here. Trying not to get any on that skull. Trying to stay on camera for you. Her hand goes and is holding the back of the skull as well. Looks like her hand might actually be in the skull. Okay, and then she has some skin like right here, so we'll take care of this skin right here. That could be armor, but I don't think so. just going to kind of fix this area here. All I'm doing is placing the tip down, just stabbing at places that I want to clean up. And just get right under this arm here so it looks like it goes into shadow. Okay, we'll do the same thing on the other side. I don't think there's a lot of arm over here. But I can definitely see her hand. Her hand is right here. And again, these could be gloves. You can make these metal gloves if you want. You don't have to make them skin hands. All right. She's looking pretty good. We like it. All right. Now I'm going to go right to, since this elf flesh, dark elf flesh, or dark elf skin is already in the nightshade color we used. I've already done the transitioning. I'm just going to go straight to it. And this is where I want to be a little controlled. So when I'm looking at it in the light, I can see her forehead, her chin, her cheeks, right? So that's what I want to do. I want to work on that. Before I work on that, though, let's give her some eye color. Now, I don't know the color of the eyes. I don't want to give her evil eyes. I don't want to give her red eyes. I don't want to give her yellow eyes. So I'm going to go traditional, but I'm not going to go bright white. I don't want to do that. I'm going to go with an ivory, like the skull. Ivory has a little bit of yellow in it. It's a warmer color. It's more of a realistic eye color, but I'm not looking to make something bright. It's going to look bright only because it's on a dark surface. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of that elf shadow we have. Just a little bit. And I'm going to take 2 ivories. Whoops. 3 ivories. Okay. And I'm going to go in and do the eyes. This should kind of mute them down a little bit. But I'm not looking to do anything fantastic with these eyes yet. I just get to see these pupils that I want to kind of dot. So I'm just going to go around and I'm just going to kind of dot where the pupils are. Now this is not the step that I should be totally careful with. You want to be somewhat careful. You don't want to get anything on the cheeks itself. But this is the step that you want the eye, because the eye will actually, you can actually clean up the eye as you're doing the highlight colors. So I'm doing the eye slits first. These very bright eye, or the whites of the eye. We'll get the pupils in later. Whoops. Yeah, today's not eye day for me, so. But notice that even though that I put dark elf skin in the eyes, it's still bright. So I'm gonna go back to my original color I was using to base everything with the nightshade, and I'm just gonna go and clean up around the eyes. Handy dandy tool. Always start with your eyes first and then clean up around after them, and you'll get nice clean eyes that you'll kind of be happy with. I'm just using the tip of the brush, just trying to locate where I want to shape the eye. So it's sort of like you're shaping the eye itself. And you're doing it with the dark color. You don't want to do it with the elf skin because you haven't painted with the elf skin yet, and you really want that darkness to be shown. Okay. So it's just a little too big still. Hopefully I'm on camera doing this. I may not be. It's just looking around. Using my lining brush, and I'm just kind of, probably gonna be tough for you to see. But there we go. We got the white in there with the eyes. So that's where we're gonna stay. Now I can go in with this flesh tone, or the skin, dark elf skin tone, and start manipulating. So right here on the forehead, I mean, find your angle. Find your light angle. Hold it, the miniature, to that light angle, and then paint where the light is kind of coming from. Right under the nose, on the top lip, but don't hit the bottom of the nose. Right here on the chin, it's kind of hitting. And just on the edge of the cheek. And then right there on the lip. Bottom lip, I should say. So you got the top of the upper lip, the actual bottom lip. Again, this isn't your final highlight. It could be if you wanted it to. I don't want it to because it looks like she has an expression. It also looks like she has some eyelids here that I'm gonna... Now, you don't have to do the eyelids. If you want to just keep them, you can. You can keep them that same color black, because when people look at it, the light's gonna hit anyway. I'm just trying to get it so that I can see it without the light. then I'm going to look at see if there's anything on the neck. I think I can get something on the side of the neck, but I don't want to go any farther than the side. But I do want to get the top of the ears. Now this is going to be tricky because you have hair in the way. But I think if I can get just the top of the ear, I think I can get the top of the ear. Let's see. I may not be able to. I may have to wait. I think I have to wait. I think it's... I don't know where... I think it's right here. Alright. Now that was the dark elf skin. That's just the gray. And we kind of darkened it up and then we lightened it up. So the one thing I can do is now add some dark elf highlight. Now what's nice is that they make a dark elf shadow, a dark elf, which we made. So my dark elf shadow is really dark, the nightshade purple and the dark elf skin. We have the shadow. We have the skin. So 09163 is the dark elf shadow. 09164 is the dark elf skin. And then you guessed it, 09165 is the dark elf highlight. These triads that you get from Reaper are formulated to do exactly what I mix. So I don't have to mix anything into this highlight color. I could mix yellow, or excuse me, I could mix white, or I could mix ivory, but I don't need to. Because it's already, the dark elf skin is already into this highlight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm just going to start dotting. And so she has this expression here, like right above her nose, where this part right here. So I'm just going to kind of highlight these corners right here. And then I'll just kind of highlight this nose here. So as I leave that dark area on her forehead, kind of makes this little scowl looking, and then her face looks a little bit more realistic, like she has an expression. Do her chin. Do the upper under the nose, the upper lip. It's really like, it's not the actual lip on the top, it's the upper, it's just above that, between the nose and that upper lip, where you would get a mustache. And then you do the bottom lip. If you can get the line for the bottom lip, and leave a little space under the bottom lip where you highlight the chin. And then I'm going to take some of this dark elf skin. Just going to add a little bit of this highlight to it. So I am going to mix these two together because I want like this little transition thing. Because there is a little piece right back here that I don't want super bright, but I don't want it to be dark either. So we're just going to get that back there. And we're going to do the same thing back here. Now, if it's too dark, we can always darken it down. So I can take some of this nightshade, or, oh my gosh, I can take some of this dark elf skin, take the same amount of highlight, which wasn't the same amount. I can make even a darker highlight that will act as a transition. Like, let's say, oh, I don't want it to be too bright before her hair, but I don't want it to be that dark either. So I'll use this transitioning color. And the same thing, like maybe I don't want this dark line here. Maybe I just want it to be a little bit more transitioning so that it doesn't look like she's totally angry. Maybe more annoyed. Maybe the cheeks get a little subtler tone. And then I could use this highlight as well for the side of the neck. Alright, so that's the face. And we have eyes to put in there. She's looking very monotone. You know what we need? We need more browns. We gotta get some browns in there. So I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this XV88 brown. I'm gonna add a little bit of Nightshade Purple to it because I need to get a transitioning color. I shouldn't be using this to do it with, but we're gonna get this nice little dark XV88 with the nightshade or the black if you're using black. And I'm gonna go through and I'm just gonna warm up the front of her by using this to get this belt right here. I'm not looking to have it finished painted, so don't worry about making it look warm or different in the front. You just want to get this transitioning color so that when we do get the XV88 on here, it really does just kind of blend itself in. And since it's already got the Nightshade Purple, it should work just as fine. The problem here is that if you go too much with it, you're going to get it on that dress. So we don't want to do that. So just be careful when you do this. So that's what I'm doing here. Just being kind of careful. Like I said, it's more of making it that transition color from the actual black to the XV88. And so we'll do some on this mace right here. which you probably can't even see this color going on, but it is going on, and it will act as a warm color to combat all that coolness that we have going on. This looks like a pack right here, so we'll get this pack going. Again, I'm trying to limit this to 10 colors. Not looking to go hog wild on colors, but if I have them, I can use them. But for the paint-alongs, if you don't have that many colors and you want to know how to paint using certain colors, that's what we're doing here. So this is our purple phase, I guess, since everything has kind of got like that purplish hue to it. Alright. What I'm going to do is take some of this bright silver. I know we're off of the belt for now. We're letting it dry. So I'm going to take some of this silver and I'm going to take a shot of this purple. And another shot of this purple. I kind of want to make a little bit lighter color than what I have. And this is where I want to kind of go through, and I'm going to start right where the light is here. And I'm just going to kind of lighten this up a little bit. Leaving a little bit of shadow there to show off that she has stuff in front of it. Right? Now I'm going to do the same thing up on top, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here and edge this highlight in. Right? So I have this highlight color. Now, nothing under here is going to see a highlight until I get down to here. So this is where I want that highlight, right here. Because this now is exposed to the light again. See how that works? And then right up here, it's got a nice little edge highlight right there. So as I'm looking at it, now there is a couple side pieces here that I could just kind of glaze over with the purple again, but for right now, anything that has this purple, I'm just going to kind of hit the edges. Like right here, I'll hit that edge. There looks like there's a little design right here, so I'll hit this edge. And it looks like this could get a highlight here. And I'm going to take that same way of doing things. So take 3 of these silvers and 1 of these dark grays. And we're going to do the same exact thing on the light silver. So we're just going to kind of make it look as if something's in front of it, so we don't want to go too far. And we'll just do some edge highlighting right here. Right here. Now we haven't done any kind of washing or separating out yet. I'm not there yet. I want to make sure that this is nice and clean and highlighted, so when we do that, it'll all look kind of where it's supposed to be. Oops, not on there. Don't want it on the hair. Not giving her silver hair, we're giving her some white hair. It might look silver after a while. And then I'm going to take that same light silver and we're going to hit all of the edges of the mace. So like these guys here are facing upwards, so we pretend that that's where the light is. So we'll do that. And then we'll do the same thing over here. That's where the light is hitting. And notice that as I'm doing that, I'm keeping the dark silver in there to show some depth, show texture. Even though it doesn't look like it. All right. So in the light, it looks all silver, but in certain lights, it'll look purple, which is kind of what you want. Now, I might have went too bright here. If I've gone too bright, then I can just take some of that clear purple that we had, thin that down just a little bit, and you can actually kind of pull this back to more of a deeper purple. The other thing you can do is take your drow silver, thin that down a little bit, add a little bit of this purple, and again, you can always bring this back down to not be so bright. You might put a little too much silver in there. So we can always fix things. We just need to let things dry and then fix it up after. There we go. All right. Well, I don't want to add a new color. So we're going to take some of the black that you have. And we're going to take some of the white. And where's my mixing brush? Since white is the ultimate color we want to get to, I think 2 shades. Let's see. 2 shots. Let's see how to do this. Two shots of white, 1 shot of nice shade purple, 3 shots of white. 4 shots of white. Alright, we're going to try 4 shots of white. This is just a preliminary color. We're going to go back to our Reaper 1. We're going to do the hair. And I'm doing the hair just because I want to get that face to show you how dark we want the face to be. So I'm going to take this, and again, if I had blue, I would do blue, but I'm just going to do all of the hair right now. There is no... And I'm probably even going to paint over the ears because I don't know where they are, and I might see them after a while. So you want to be careful with this. You let it flow. You follow the hair. Follow the hair. Now you don't have to keep it in one direction. I could go this way and come upward, but you follow the hair. If you go this way, you're going to end up breaking the illusion. We want this to be nice and flowy. And I'm not going to hit the front yet. So all I'm doing is following the hair. And it will dictate where my bristles go. And hopefully I don't hit that cloak. That's why I'm going slow around the cloak. Right? And it's okay to leave a little bit of a line. It's okay to leave a little bit of line around the cloak and the hair because you're going to have to anyway, so that it shows separation. I have a feeling that I'm missing conversations. Have I missed any conversations, or are we all just kind of feverishly painting along? I don't know. People are just feverishly painting along, or they're probably not even here. Which is totally fine. The whole idea behind Thursday nights is to paint along. And if you're painting the Priestess with me, that's great. Maybe you're not using the same colors I am, but you're still following the process. And so as you're doing this, notice that with all of the stuff that we have on here, this is looking white until it dries, and then it will look black. Alright, now I'm going to go to the front, and to be very careful with this. You don't want to get any on that face. Again, I'm following the hair, but I'm just going in reverse. Do the side here. And we'll do the other side. Take your time. Don't rush this. If you take your time, it'll end up looking the way you want it to. And I was right, because there's the little ear right there. So that's what I want. I want to see those little ears. All right. So we have that nice and gray. It's a very bright gray, but we have it gray nonetheless. The cape looks fantastic. Oh, and the bodice. Oh, is that what they call that in the front? I didn't know that's what they called it. I'm very lackluster on vocabulary. Okay, so notice that I just want to show that because of this dark hair, this here, her face has become darker. And as you go and you lighten everything up around it, this becomes the dark part of the miniature. Whoops, sorry about that. Which is what you want with this dark elf priest. Now it looks like I got some silver or something up here on the, so we're gonna have to fix that. So remember, we use this dark elf highlight color, and so that's what I'm going to. I'm not changing any, I'm not making any highlights yet. Just going back to, now I could sit here and I could do a lighter color here on the nose, but this is where it has to be controlled, meaning that everything comes down like this. You still need to have those dark colors, and those ivory eyes actually kind of make her look a little demonic. And I think what I'll do is I'll take some of this dark elf highlight and try to get in. Let's see, if I'm looking at this, it looks like there's a little highlight right here and right here. I don't know if that's true. But I think what I'm going to try to do here, I'm going to try to do something off the wall. I'm going to go back to my black over here for a second. And I'm going to do it all around, but not her neck. I have an idea. But I need to have that dark in there. So I'm gonna do everything I did on this dress. I'm gonna do it. There's like this little collar in here that I'm gonna do. And so, just to make this not look so much like a mess, I'm gonna go through and just kind of add in some of the base back. Just so we have a chance to actually see her and it doesn't look like a complete mess down here. And I'm just stabbing now. I'm just using the tip to stab at things only because I don't want to, if I put a stroke on there, I could go on the dress and I don't want to. So I'm just kind of using like a dot matrix to get into certain areas. Go. I'm just doing the side of the base. I'm not really working on near her per se. There we go. Hey, Flying Ryan, how's it going? And welcome in, T-Cat. I knew you were here before, but I don't know if I welcomed you in. But here's where we have her so far. Let's go into our XV88 mixture of Dark Shade and XV88. Let's get another good shot of XV88 in here. This one's just a little bit darker because it's still got that shade in it. But this is now where I can start painting in the belt. And I'm doing this because I want to get a little bit of warmth in here. You know, that's what we did with the skull. We got a little bit of warmth with the skull, but then we muted that warmth out with some ivory. And so this one I'm not going to mute out with ivory, but we will have to highlight it. So we're just going to get this warmth color in here. Just like so. I did. Oh, awesome. Fantastic. Let's see. So there's a little bit of belt right here. And there's a little bit of a belt right here. And it's attached to, I think this is a potion. Might need to, fix that up a bit. And then I'm going to take some of this Nightshade purple again. Take some of this color again. I want to get another transition color. Hold on. All right. So I want to get a transition color right in here. The reason I want to get a transition color in here is because when I do this with that XV88, I can actually just make it the highlight color and not worry too much about that mace. Now I can take the XV88, straight up XV88, and just do this mace here. And I don't have to do around the inside of that. We're just going to make that a shadow color. And then take this XV88. And I'm just going to do the top edge right here. Do a little bit here. Now I could, if I wanted to, add ivory to this, but if I muted it down too much, it's going to look like a skull. So we might not want to do that just yet. But this gets a little break in the action there. And then there's all this black that we have to get through. But at least she has a little bit of color. She's got some warmth going on here and around here. So she's pretty good there. I need to head off to bed. Running only a couple of hours. She looks stunning. Have a good night, everyone. Hey, thanks for stopping in, T-Cat. I appreciate you lurking around and maybe painting along. I'm just about to go to breakfast, but I'll be back. Love the progress on this mini. Thanks so much, Flying Ryan. You go have yourself a great breakfast. We're almost done here anyway. We'll be back next week to work more on our Dark Elf Priestess, but she is coming along. She might need a spot of color or two. We didn't get any real color in here, but we're trying. So the one thing I want to do is I want to work on this collar the same way we were working on this dress. So we're going to start off with some Nightshade Purple. Get some Slanesh Gray. So 2 Slanesh Grays and 1 Nightshade Purple, or black. My Nightshade Purple is black. And I'm just going to go and make her collar. So she has a collar right here. Could be armor, but I'm going to make it her dress. And I see I missed some of her hair. Oh, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. That's this silver right here. So you probably already have that already painted. I missed it, so I'm working on that. The whole point of me getting lighter colors around her face is to make her face the darkest. That's the only reason we're doing this. Her hair will be whiter. She will have ears coming out of the hair to kind of break it up. But the whole point of this is to give her dark skin. Now we have some hands that we're going to have to work on next week. We have some face things that I can do. I can add a little bit more highlight to this, but I don't want to go too far into the, really making her bright. I think she looks good here. So it's the spot of colors just to help with the expression out a little bit. And then we have some black in here that we have to get rid of. And then we have to figure out what we're going to do with this cloak. Are we going to leave it black back there? Are we going to bring it a different feel to that cloak? Does that become purple? Because really she only has purple in the front here. And then are we going to do anything back here? Are we going to make a pattern or a design? It's all a gamble. It's all a gamble, but we're working. We're trying to get it. And notice that black right there. So what I can actually do here, maybe that black is just a little too thick. You can do half of this side, but you want to keep that. You want to keep that black line to separate from the cloth and the armor. Gotta get an angle that you can paint it. Don't force anything. If you force something, you're gonna end up regretting it. If you don't think that you can do it, don't do it. That's what I say. All right. I think we let that dry enough. Now I'm going to add more Slanesh Gray to this mixture. Okay. And I'm just going to hit where that collar is. Whoops. Alright, now we're going to hit it with straight up Slanesh Gray. And then we'll highlight the collar, even getting brighter. I think I was right. I think this is part of this. And let's see. I'm gonna take some of this. I'm gonna make a line in here to separate her skin from the collar. All right. And then we'll go to our Slanesh white mix, 1-for-1. Actually, it's 2-to-1, right? 2 Slanesh grays to 1 white. See how that collar really makes the face darker. That's exactly what you want. Add a little bit of white to that mixture. And we're going to do it again. A little bit of white to that mixture. Again. Nice and bright. And then I'm going to take some actual purple and nightshade purple and kind of just clean up around that area. The reason I'm using the clear purple is because we have the purple on the armor. And let's see. I know, I'm not talking, telling you what I'm doing. I'm hitting these little centerpieces, these points with the silver to kind of make it a little bit more, shinier. And then I'll take some of this purple here. Before I do that, I'm going to take some of this nightshade purple because there's something I want to do. There's like a little lip right here that I want to try to get at. So I just wanted to kind of separate out some stuff here. And then hit these points right here. Like so. And then take straight up silver and hit points. So like right here, I'm just gonna hit some point right here. Not gonna do a lot. Just want to sell a little bit of highlight right there. And sell a little bit of highlight right here on that point, on this point, and right here. And so now you can see how the top of that looks a little bit more brighter up here in this area, and then it comes down into this dark, and then it works its way here. And so what I can do if I wanted to is take this and actually kind of bring this back down to a much more deeper purple, just underneath all of this stuff. Same thing here. This is that clear purple that I'm doing. And I can actually sell a little bit more underneath with the purple. And if you do it on the sides here, you could probably, it'll still have that two-tone, but you're blending it in. And I can do the same thing up on top. Well, I think we got some of her done here. I think she's looking pretty good. I think that's going to be where we're going to leave her today. So, I don't have a picture. I don't have my phone, I don't believe. Take a picture of her. But there's where she is. And I'll show you more of the face, I think. Let's see if I can zoom in on the face. That would be the miniature view here. So, get her in the middle of the screen while I do this. Hold on. Whoa, that was a lot. Let's see. Let's do 350. 375, because that's where I'm at. And let's get her to actually... Alright, let's see. Now you get to see all my strokes. Oops. So that's where she's at. And we're working on getting her more done. And then here's where the back of her is. So the magic is kind of ruined. I got it. Let's see if I can get her to focus in this area. There it is. Oh, I had it. Oh, I had it. I gotta be really still. Ugh, every time I move her. Like my heart beats. I'm just waiting for it to stop and then I'll click auto. I don't know why it's not doesn't want to focus. Alright, I think we got her now. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to probably work more on the hands next week, and then work on getting more color into her. Right now she's just purple and grays and whites, so we'll get more white hair to her, and then we'll figure out how to get some more color moving moving on. But there she is. So she's looking good. I like her. And that's where the face is at the moment. So we'll get some other stuff going on there. So let's move this out. Make sure that she can be seen. She can. Good. Let's apply it. Good. Boom. All right. There she is. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank my unofficial sponsors today who don't know that they're sponsoring the channel. That's Games by B and Snowfoot Dice. Let me turn this music off and be all like professional now. So Snowfoot Dice makes a bunch of dice. You might find other things on their site, so don't be afraid to go check them out on Etsy, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can reach them by snowfootdice@gmail.com, and you can go watch and you can go see what they got on snowfootdice.com. And then you need something to put all those dice in. So Games by B, she does a bunch of crafting, or they do a bunch of crafting, I should say, because I don't know if it's more than one person. But they do all of the tabletop RPG accessories, dice bags, deck bags, rolling trays, you name it. They craft it for the tabletop role playing game. You can check them out at gamesbyb.com. Go over to Twitter at gamesbyb, and you can reach them by email at gamesbyb@gmail.com. So those are some local artists. If you do happen to find anything and purchase anything, tell them that Gel Tip sent you. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back next Thursday to continue working on our Reaper Dark Elf Priestess. I hope that anybody that was painting along today, you got some awesome work in. Again, join the Discord Thursday paint alongs. Check out what we got planned for April, and I will get a color scheme up for April. Right now, we're working on the Dark Elf Priestess, so don't be afraid to share your pictures of any Dark Elf Priestess that you decide to paint along. And then these paint alongs, if they go well, I will get them up on my YouTube channel. I will stick a YouTube link in where you can watch each episode as I paint. I don't splice anything, I don't edit anything. It's just whatever I paint that day. So if you miss a certain stream, you might be able to catch it on the YouTube. We are working on, I have him, he's called Grimkel Bloodbeard for April, and then we'll see what we're doing in May and June. May and June are some weaker months for me, so I put them together, I splice them together, and then I splice July and August together, and then we're off to ReaperCon, so I have to get some stuff painted for that, and it's going to be here before I know it. So, we're going to find out who we can go raid really quick. But yep, we'll be back here Tuesday night at 9 p.m. To do just a regular paint. We're painting up the Knoll Warrior Bloodbane. So we'll see if we're going to continue working on him, or I might have a surprise. Might actually try a chibi next Tuesday. So don't be. So you have to come and check out to see if I'm actually going to be brave enough to work on a chibi. Now, where is... I have to find... Aha, here we go. So let's see who is out there that we can share some love with. Oh, Parko the Viking. He's working on a spider demon. Let's go say hi to Parko the Viking. I don't think we've actually raided into him. Might have once, but I don't remember. But we're going to go say hi to Parko the Viking. So if you're with me, continue to stay with me and check out Parko the Viking for a little bit. I don't know I don't know how long I can actually stay in. I've got a lot of things I got to get done for work before the weekend, such as set up the new work laptop. So I'll stay in for a bit. But thanks everybody for coming out, and I hope that. Whoops! It probably help if I actually had him open in the channel, so that I know I can raid into him. Hopefully he's not going anywhere. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for stopping in, and we will talk to you next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Have a good night, everybody. Keep on painting.
For everybody who spends